SEO experts can significantly increase your revenue, but they can also completely tank your business and even get it removed from Google. So that's why it's really important to make the right choice when we're hiring an SEO expert. Let's talk about 4 main ideas that we need to focus on to make sure that we find the right person. The first idea is we need to make sure that we understand SEO ourselves. So if we're hiring an SEO, we better know what we're looking for. Not only is this going to make the hiring process a lot smoother, but it's also going to make the SEO feel a lot more understood in the company. I'm talking from personal experience when I say that it's really frustrating to work with people that don't understand what's happening and also have unrealistic expectations of your work. I've worked with people that expected to rank number 1 for a very competitive keyword in under a month, and that's completely unrealistic. So it makes everything easier when the people that are hiring are actually knowledgeable about what they're looking for and they understand that SEO is a process that takes time. The second idea that we're going to take a look at is their experience. We want to break down all the different projects that they've worked on. We want to know exactly how involved they've been and what the results of that work were. We obviously want to make sure that their CV and their profile looks great online, but what we want to do is take a deep dive into all those different experiences and see exactly what they've done, and we want to make sure they can take us from point A to point B, right? So from the strategy and the idea to what was actually implemented and to the final results that came out of all of that work. Another thing that we can see here is their specialty within SEO. So just like developers or designers, SEOs often specialize in one specific area of SEO. So maybe it's an SEO that's very technical and they focus more on technical SEO, or maybe you're looking at a link building master. So you'll know what you want based on the necessities of your company at the time. But if you're looking for an all-around great SEO that dominates all the different areas inside of SEO, we want to see how they've been involved in all those different areas and how they've tied it all together to get results. Another thing that's really relevant here is the type of SEO projects that they've been involved in. So was the last project that they worked on a SaaS? Because the SEO that you do on a SaaS website is going to be very different to the SEO you do on an e-commerce website, for example. It's also very common for a lot of SEOs to only have experience with affiliate SEO. The main thing here, guys, is we want to know if they have experience working on projects that are similar to yours. A final thing that I'd like to add when I'm looking at someone's experience is I like to ask about personal projects. So have they built anything on their own online and have they tried to rank it? This obviously isn't mandatory, but it's going to show if they have that additional level of passion for SEO, and that's going to be a great sign. The next thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to test them. We're going to put all those skills that they say they have on their CV to the test. We're going to ask for an SEO audit and we're going to give them a few days to do it. We're also going to ask that they give us some suggestions and some recommendations on the most high impact things that we can do to improve the organic traffic of our website. So this is great for a variety of reasons. Not only is it going to test their SEO skills, but we're going to see how they work under pressure and if they can deliver. Good SEOs will honestly be able to see things very quickly, and they might not need more than a couple of days to get a complete SEO audit done. It's also going to test how well they understand your business goals, given that they're going to need to create a plan and a strategy around their audit. So you'll see right away if this is someone that understands and cares about your business, if they tell you to fix a really critical SEO problem first, instead of something like improving image alt tags. This is why it's important to have at least some basic knowledge of SEO to understand the different things that they come back to us with. And guys, we also want to find someone who's thinking long term. SEO itself is something that takes a long time, so we want to find someone that can find those quick fixes, but is also thinking about that long-term strategy and how you can take over your niche. And the fourth idea is personal traits. So hiring an SEO is just like hiring anybody else at a company. We want to make sure that we see ourselves having a proactive work relationship with that person. One of the main personal traits that I look for in a good SEO is great communication skills. Not only is this great to make sure that all parties involved understand all the SEO changes that are being made, but it's really important for that SEO to defend themselves against developers and designers that want to make changes to that website that could potentially kill your organic traffic. So that's why having interviews and having multiple calls with that person is very, very important to see the type of person they are and see all the different traits that they're bringing to your company. Also, guys, just as a word of advice, if you are potentially looking at hiring a big SEO agency, be very careful. There's a lot of really big SEO agencies that try and get as many clients as possible, but don't end up actually doing a lot of work for those clients. So make sure you do some proper due diligence to find out exactly what they're going to do to your website. Make sure you have a timeline and that you check in on that agency at least once a month to find out about all the different changes that they're making. If you're new to SEO, I really recommend you check out this playlist where I guide you through the basics of SEO. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one.